Hello? Testing? Hello? Hello? Anyone hear me? Hello? 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 Okay, okay, you can hear me. Good. Good, good, good. That was, all right. Send this link out. All right, what's going on? Cool, cool, cool. I'll wait for everyone to join. Yeah, can you hear me? Sorry, I'm not talking. Just waiting for everyone to join. All right, cool. Yeah, we're going to talk about futures, what we see going into this market. I'm going to take a look at SPY so you guys can see the gaps and how crazy this market's been over the whole week. Yo, what's up, C-Trades? Yeah, so we're going to talk about how crazy this market's been the whole week, but with good explanation as to why, what's going on, and how to prepare. All right, so I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna take a look at SPY now because it's just easier to see the gaps. Same thing if you want to look at SPY, ES. It's all basically the same thing. So when you look at the daily here on SPY, it's been a crazy run to say the least. I'm gonna clear this out to show you guys what's going on, but it's all within. It all somehow makes sense because we've been in this consolidation period similar to where we were at during the breakout before 300. And what you see here, I'm going to show you, is this huge consolidation period before the breakout. And I talk about consolidation periods a lot and how powerful they are because the longer you consolidate, generally the larger the run that comes out of it. And when you see something, especially in SPY, that's been consolidating with a tech pullback as well, it just means a parabolic run can come. And around 300, yep, this was this 300 area over here. We had that same type of consolidation Oh no, this was it right here. This little mess right here in the corner. It's this same type of consolidation that we've seen. Those whole numbers, those big 300, 400, and I'm sure once we get to 500, that'll be a tough zone as well. But we broke out here. This was before we broke out at 300. This was coming off of the Corona lows. We then broke out and it just rallied. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So we had a 7-8 day rally. Before then, a huge drop. So if it does repeat the similar breakout, we may get 1 or 2 more couple of days here of some green, and then a potential gap down, because we will have to now fill these gaps. And everyone's been trying to play this gap fill here on SPY since we broke out, and this was never a good idea to play this gap, because when you're breaking out of a range such as we're seeing here in SPY, it's not going to come back immediately to fill that gap and almost fall back into that range. You also now compare that to NQ, which is heavily sold off, and part of some stocks that are a part of NQ, Google, Amazon, you big names in SPY and big names in the overall market that really drives this market, finally broke and hold above that 13,000 level. So that then drove this market, drove SPY. SPY broke out of that 400 area. So it's just a huge overall market push. But now we're coming up on some heavy resistance here on the NASDAQ all-time highs, and that's that 14,000 zone, which I'm sure we will have a tough time breaking through. If you notice on NASDAQ, every 1,000 points, it's a tough sticky level. So this 13,000 here, this level charted, I'm gonna make it red, but this level here charted was a super tricky level to break and hold above, which was really causing this this lack of run on the NASDAQ. We see here, this is the red level, the 13,000. We tried to break and hold once, twice, 3 times, almost 4 times, and then we finally got that breakout. But it again, it's a tough level, all these 1,000 increments, and I'm sure this 14,000 will now serve as a tough level. Coming up on all-time highs now, I'm sure we're going to get some resistance here at 13,900. So that could be what causes the pullback on the overall market. I'd love to see some consolidation now here at 13,900 for another potential run and a test of 14,000, but we have to see what happens, and I'm sure this pullback is not going to be fun. But when you're looking at the market and you're wondering, is this rally going to last, you need to look at some names that are a part of SPY, a part of the NASDAQ, a part of tech, and see how they're performing. And Amazon, we've been seeing this consolidation and been trying to break and been trying to play this. I'm sure some of you have been trying to play this for a while. And this has been a tough level of consolidation that really just has been impossible to break out of. And we're finally getting some volume coming in on Amazon. And this is a huge leader that's going to move your markets. Same, I'm going to take a look at Google, and we saw this huge breakout on Google as well. And when you see Amazon and Google running as hard as they did over this past week, Amazon made a $300, near $400 move in a week. That's not a bearish sign at all. With increasing volume and just a straight shot up, that is not bearish. And if you're trying to short into that, good luck. When the time comes though for the pullback, it will be worth it to short. But when you're getting a run from some of your big names like this, it's just not worth it to short into, especially the first week that we're breaking out. Second week, third week, if we're still pushing, then maybe you can look to add some shorts. But on the initial breakout, there's no reason to be short. But Amazon, game plan for that as we come up on that 13,900 level for the NASDAQ. I'm looking at this strong level here. Let me just clear this out. This is how I develop my watch list. I'm always on the daily. I love the daily for strong key levels. So this is a huge level here, 34.30 basically. If we can now break and hold above 34.30, all-time highs should test. If we can break and hold above all-time highs, 4,000 seems to be what's next after a consolidate. And we talk about consolidation. This is consolidation this is almost a full year of consolidation. So this breakout, which everyone's been trying to catch because everyone knows this is going to be huge. So if we can hold above 3,400, And I'd like to start to see some consolidation now because this run is becoming extended. Same with the SPY run. I need some type of minor pullback consolidation here in this overall market before I decide to go long. Right now, I'm just not taking any trades personally. And if this is a time where you're unsure of what to do, if you want to go long, go short, literally just don't place a trade. There's no reason to be in anything if you're confused on what to do. So personally, right now, I'm waiting for a pullback, and then I'll look to enter Amazon. If we can hold above 30,400 for a test of all-time highs at 3,550, and again, break and hold above that 3,500, I'll make that 4,000 next, easily. And I want to show you Google now, another huge name that will push your markets. We did get that breakout. This was a huge breakout, and this can look like the Amazon chart when it breaks out. You see this huge consolidation here. This is a smaller consolidation compared to Amazon, but when it broke out, it went from 2,000, basically 2,000, all the way to 2,300, and that's a huge move. And again, a leader that will move your markets. So when you see a move and a breakout such as this, this isn't weakness. This isn't bearish. This is not something that you should try to short, especially when it's just breaking out. Now, as we start to form some consolidation here above 2,250. I'd look to enter a long position, but with being this extended, I'm not comfortable going long at these levels without some type of pullback. For Google, I'd love to see there is a gap here at 2,150 and 2,130. If we can come back and retest all-time highs and get this low, I'll definitely be loading up a long position 1 to 2 months out. It's a little bit pricey, but this is a huge breakout that we can totally capture if it does decide now to come back and retest the previous all-time highs. As I'm charting this, you guys can throw any tickers out there in the chat, and we can go over them, or any thoughts you guys have on this week. But besides that, that's the whole market, and what I see and what I'm looking for. There are some tickers now outside of SPY that I'd like to take a look at, that I really do like the setup, Fubo being the main one. I've been trying to catch Fubo here for a while now. I caught this run previously, but then it's just been selling off and getting beaten down ever since. But volume like this is not something to ignore. They had great news. I'm pretty sure they partnered with someone or invested with someone, something like that. And with volume that has never before been seen in the history of the stock, that's not something to ignore. And I'm sure it will lead to some type of sign of continuation. From a technical standpoint, this is a nice falling wedge breakout. Why are ARK ETFs lagging? Yeah, so honestly, it seems like all of Kathy's stocks that she's invested in are just getting beaten down. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's hedge funds trying to short all these names like that. But all of Kathy's stocks, Palantir being one of them that she's invested in. Palantir has been flat for a while now. I'll take a look at that. But a lot of her stocks have just been, and Tesla as well. Tesla, with this market rally, Tesla hasn't been doing much, and has a huge position in Tesla. And she believes Tesla in 5 years will be 3,000, something crazy. I mean, anything's possible, but that's a crazy valuation. And she's just, all of her stocks, no matter what they are, no matter what sector they're in, no matter what part of the market they're a part of, none of that. They're just getting beaten down. No reason why, but I just stay away from it. There's other plays out there, especially loving this Fubo play. Where am I looking to go long? And 20, that 20 psychological level served as a strong psychological level of support. Oh yeah, TMBR, yep. But it's been holding as a strong psychological level. Now I'd like to see 26 hold above, because this was a previous extremely strong level of support, which then ultimately broke down, causing that rally, or that push down to 20. But if we can hold 26, obviously chart all-time highs, and this is a big beatdown on Fubo. with volume like this again, we do have this small gap here on the daily. Right here. This is a minor gap, but it is a gap, and then 80% of the time gaps do get filled, so it's something to be aware of. But if we can hold above 26, where are my targets? I like 35. 40 even, again, psychological number can be huge, of course. And after 40, I think we can push, if we can break above 40, we can push 55, and 55 can hold then its all-time highs. All-time highs can hold, which is 62. I'm sure we'll get that 100 push. I love Fubo as a stock. I think they're a good company, and I don't think that they in 5 years will definitely not be $20. I totally see them in 5 years, $100, $200, $300. I'm definitely looking to pick up some shares here at these levels. I just want to see what happens this week with volume like this. As if we can push 26, and these are the plays that you want to look at when the market's when you're unsure of the market direction. You want to look at these smaller cap, mid cap plays where they won't get affected as much by the market, and they can totally run no matter what direction the market goes. Especially with a stock like Fubo, which has been on a tear, or did go on this huge tear, and again, and it can totally do that. And when it goes, and it runs when it goes. Last time we saw a volume breakout here on Fubo, it took a minor pullback. So maybe we see a pullback, some type of consolidation here in between 20 and 26. But again, if we can hold above 26, I'm ready to go till 35 and then 40, just based off of how parabolic Fubo can go on volume. So this is something that you need to be on your watch list, because this is going to be a huge play. Let's see. Palantir. Everyone's been trying to play Palantir. I haven't really been playing it much. It's hard to day trade. Because it just doesn't get any movement. Stocks like this, again, good company for sure, and this is a Kathy company. She, again, all her stocks have just been getting beat down. I'll show you Tesla as well, getting beaten down even with the market rally. So a stock like this is times where you want to just enter shares. If you're trying to day trade in between this choppy mess that's been in for almost 2 months now, it's just not worth it. There's other plays out there. You don't need to be trying to day trade in between this. I mean, you look at the price action here on the daily, it just doesn't look something comfortable to day trade. For me, and I've set this plan out before, to generate some shares and pick up some shares here in between 20 and 27 is great. I'd have a stop loss around 15 if I'm picking up shares. That'll for sure be a strong psychological level, and 20 is holding as well. But it is starting to gain some volume. I'm only going to play Palantir above 27 and with the gap fill target of 31. And that's the only time I'll play it, because other than that, it's just been getting beaten down, and I'd rather play anything else, because it's just not the play that I'm looking for. But shares, great spot here for the long run. Company that I do believe will be above 100 in the next 1 to 2 years. It's just going to take some time. I'm going to show you Tesla as well. Another huge, Tesla's been the stock that really helped Kathy's fund, because she was in it pre-split, I think around 100 or 50 or something like that. So that's just really blown up her fund, blown up her name, because she was in that while everyone else was saying it was a horrible company. But as you see, like the market's been going parabolic, and Tesla's just been in this mess of a range, eating premiums up. Anyone who's been trying to play this, I'm sure, has been getting destroyed on day trades or whatever. It's just, it's hard to play when a stock as heavily a part of the S&P 500 as it is not moving with the S&P 500. It's frustrating. But this 700 level, if we can get a close above 700 one day, as just 700 even, this can be huge. Because of this consolidation, and because it's been lagging behind the whole market, if Tesla runs, I'm sure that SPY, the NASDAQ, is going to go parabolic again, because this has been The market's been running, and Tesla just has not. And Tesla can carry the market if it pushes. So if we can get a hold above 700, I mean, safely would be 710. And if we can hold above that, I have first target easily. I think we can see 777. That's that gap fill. Is second we get a close above 700, and that can be the run you're looking for on Tesla. And if we can close above 780, 800, I'm sure all-time highs will be no problem breaking through, and we can make that push towards 1,000. I love the Tesla setup. It's just something where you just have to sit on your hands and not play until your key levels break, because anything in between, as you see, has just been a mess to trade. Kind of looks like Palantir, another big Kathy stock as well. Talk about Tesla, but we're going to need some volume decreasing on this little consolidation. So it's waiting on some type of news. I'm sure something will hit, and it'll just send Tesla to the moon. But this looks like a pending news type of consolidation. So watch above 700 and with 780 target. Shop. Take a look at CRM. Oh, I like this play as well, and I got to take a look at Walmart. I haven't been watching it. I don't know if it filled its gap. This is a nice CRM continuation. A little thing when you're looking and to see if it will continue on a run-up, especially a consolidation breakout, and you're wondering, will this continue, will it not? Is a pullback coming? If prices is still increasing on a breakout with volume still increasing, that's just beginning the run. And I think CRM, with this volume continuing to increase as we get that breakout, I think this run can just be starting. You can take a look here on the weekly. This looks like some nice consolidation. Yeah, so this can be a huge play as well. Because this is a huge weekly bull flag, and it's tough to draw this because it's not the cleanest pattern. It looks something like this, and this has just been holding this bottom of this trend line CRM as it's been pushing down. But volume starting to pick up. I'd like to see a little stronger volume this week if we're going to get this breakout, but this looks like a huge potential and easily can hit 300 with no problem if we can hold above this weekly 250. If we can hold above 250, 285, we'll hit pretty fast, and then it'll be that 300. I'm sure we'll get some consolidation at. But for now, let's get some more volume. I love this play, though. I'd like to see some type of consolidation, though, around 230. This run is getting a little extended, just like the overall market. So I'm just not gonna be in this market until we get a pullback, as everything's starting to get extended. And if you're looking to enter a long position here at these levels without a pullback, it's just not worth it. Shop. I've been trying to play shop. Same setup here. I love this setup because you have some big names running and some big names just lagging behind. EV like plug power pulled thoughts a few days after the infrastructure run up. EV, what does that mean? Pulled thoughts. A few days after the infrastructure run up. Thoughts. I'll take a look at plug. But shop, again, something to definitely keep on watch. I love this breakout, and it only is just beginning the breakout as well. The only thing that worries me is this gap now. If we do get, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this week, because this pullback will be large because of the gaps. A 400 retest on SPY would be nice. Yeah, shop was huge. I was in. I missed. I think I caught a little bit of it. Totally could have caught more. It's just been. It was a tough breakout to say the least. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at the plug. But it's been a tough breakout, and it's tried to break out once, twice, failed, and it finally broke through. Volume stepping in as well. Gap to the upside at 1,360. And let's take a look. I would like to see some consolidation, something here at 1,250 for then that overall push to fill the gap at 1,360. And if anyone trades spreads here, the spreads on shop, I was in debits, and those things are moving crazy. There's not a liquid options chain at all. So I'd rather play naked on that than get in any sort of spreads. Oh yeah, I got to take a look at Microsoft as well. But yeah, so spreads on shop I'd stay away from. If anyone here does trade spreads, bad idea. But naked options aren't too bad. Spreads are crazy on that too, but not as bad as debits or credits. So watch that 1,250 level coming up. Volume increasing though. Love the setup. What else? TMBR. What is this? This is like a pharmacy company. No idea why it sold off this much, but let's take a look. Something like this. I mean, it can break out, but it seems like, especially being a pharmacy company, I'm sure it's pending some type of FDA approval, some type of big pharmacy news. But from a technical standpoint, it's gonna need some volume. But it's holding above 2, which is definitely strong psychological support. And if it could break above 230, then it looks ready to go to test all-time highs because of this consolidation. But it's a pharmacy stock, and I'm sure this was some pharmacy news as well. So it's definitely something to be careful of. So watch this 230 level. If you can hold above, maybe you could make a run to 3. But other than that, it's, just not something to... I mean, you can accumulate some shares with the 2 stop loss. But other than that, I would stay away. Microsoft, yeah, I got to take a look at this. And this has been a nice breakout as well. Yeah, it's all consolidation. We talk consolidation, and this is exactly what I mean. These breakouts are serious. The only problem is with consolidations is there's a lot of fake outs in between that range. Well, when they eventually do break out, and they break out hard, they go. So let's see here. With that acquisition, I'd like to see what happens pre-market. I'm sure we'll get a gap up. But if the market can't hold, then it'll come right back down, I'm sure. We have gaps at Microsoft that need to be filled. 252 and 250. So if we can retest the 250, that would be nice for some continuation. But this consolidation, and then take a look at the weekly, this has been consolidating for a while. So this has been consolidating for a while now. Tried to break out, and it kind of did. But this looks ready for 300, honestly. No reason for it to not continue, especially with the continuous great news of what they're acquiring and what they're doing. Company's looking good. So just watch for this pullback, though. This looks extremely extended. Volume kind of still picking up, and I'm sure the volume will be crazy tomorrow with the acquisition. So watch that 250 retest. If not, I would just stay away from it because it's so extended. TIGR, yeah, I'm in TIGR. I'm going to take a look at that as well. But Microsoft looking great for continuation. I love I think if we can retest 250, we can load up 2-3 months out, and we can take that push to 300. Walmart. I haven't seen this, but I know this setup is nice. Okay, yeah. So, huge gap, and this kind of reminds me of the INTC gap fill. I don't know if anyone was there for it. Intel went crazy. We caught a little bit of it in the chat, but this gap, I don't know where it was. Yeah, it was like this one, I think. Where was it? Yeah, it was this. I think it was this. We caught this whole run here. That was crazy. Which kind of does remind me of what can happen with Walmart. What we see here, consolidation above the gap, which is great. Looks healthy. As long as 138.54 can hold, looks like an easy run to 145. Breakout level obviously will be 140.75, but that's a quick $5 move on Walmart, and a $5 move on Walmart's 500% of your contracts pretty easily. So definitely keep that on watch. Simple breakout. Just wait for it to hold, though, because on big gaps like this, fake outs occur a lot, and we saw a fake out here a couple of times. So wait for that 140.75 to hold, and then it's ready. It's ready to go to 145 easily. Yeah, look at FCell. James Sabert. Weird name, James Sabert. Tiger. I'm in this, and I'll show you why I'm in this. This actually wasn't my idea. I don't know if anyone follows Ripster on Twitter. He gave me this idea. I can follow him. But this looks like a great breakout. Really textbook breakout as well. Increasing volume here on this consolidation, holding above 20, and it did hold above 20, but kind of sold off after hours. We'd like to see what happens tomorrow. As long as 20 can hold, I have 24 targets, and then we have that gap fill at 30. I'm in April contracts. I'm going to roll those to May. And with the 30 target in May contracts, I think this can be an easy play as volume is increasing as well. So TIGR just getting started on this move. As long as we can hold above 20, if we fall back, I'm going to have a stop loss on my May contracts. So I keep large stop losses on contracts at least a month out. My stop loss will be 16. But as long as 20 can hold above, 25 will be my first target, and then 30. This seems like an easy play to me, and I'm definitely going to be loading up on this. Would love this setup. It could totally fall down below, though, but the volume's still increasing, and I think this run is just beginning. Apple. Oh yeah. So I've been watching Apple. 118 has been holding very, very strongly, and we just broke out. Posted this setup if anyone follows me on Instagram. It's Jack_swing trades. Post my Instagram in the comments, but coming out with a post tonight. Posted this setup. And it's a great setup. This falling wedge breakout. Gap filled to 132. All targets hit. And we're going to look for 138, super strong level. But again, this is becoming a really, really extended market, and with an extension like this, this pullback will come very, very hard. And I'd like a strong gap down, which can then provide us with a nice buy to dip opportunity, because there's so many now gaps going to be hopefully left to fill to the upside. But we got to wait to see what happens this week. I think this week will be very interesting to say the least. But Apple, now that 132 gap is filled, I'd like to see some consolidation at 132 for then an ultimate push to 138. And then if this market continues this push, this April push, as April's technically or seasonally good for stocks, I'm sure we'll get that test of all-time highs at 145 and then 150. Nice setup though. FSO. We were in this for a little bit. Now it's starting to sell off again. Pretty sure they make batteries for EVs. And they were a nice company. I think this was a huge company, and then it just, I don't know what happened to them. It kind of looks like the Plug charts, and I got to take a look at Plug as well. But yeah, so this was a huge company, and this wasn't actually $6,000. The reverse split all the way down. And then just hasn't been much action from it. We got some nice strong monthly volume, but it looks like it will continue to drop. Long term though, doesn't seem like a bad investment, but short term, this looks like it could totally continue to drop. Volume is decreasing though. I mean, a pop can come, but the setup isn't the greatest. Yeah, weird setup, to say the least. If you're going to go long, I'd like some longs only above 1550, 1555. Targets, gap fill at 17 and 2650. And I'd only go short below 11 because volume's decreasing. I'm sure we're just not going to get any movement. So no trades in between any of that. And if we do break below 11, I'm going to have a 10 target. There's a bunch of psychological numbers down here. So from 11, we're going to take it down to 10. And then from 15.55, we'll take it to 17 and then 26. But I don't think this moves much for a while. SOS. This is a lot of news behind this. If you're in a position, I wouldn't go too heavy because this is heavily manipulated and a strong selling volume as well. Totally broke down. It's got the Hindenburg stuff on it, the Hindenburg short, but it's just something that has potentially good risk to reward because it's so beaten down, but it's not something you want to mess with. Any news could hit it, and confirming the reports that their company is actually a fraud, and then you just goes to one and gets delisted or whatever. So anything can happen with this. Something that's heavily manipulated by the news. So I just stay away from it. But if you are in it, it's having trouble breaking the 662 level. So only above 662 should you go long. KO. Great investment for the long term. 415 seems like a strong level that's holding as well. That just basically 4 general psychological level. And so anything in between 415 and 660, not going to trade, but above 662, I'm going to have a target at 923. And then if 923 can hold, I'm going to take it at 1245. And if $4 can hold below, I'm just going to stay away from the stock forever until it comes back above 5. Now it'll be a penny stock. Nvidia. Nvidia. I like this setup too. I like Nvidia for the long run as well. I'm sure they're going to start coming out with chips for cars, and just overall a great company. Looks like, honestly, an inverse head and shoulders. I'm not going to draw that out, but this looks like your head, left shoulder, and right shoulder now making that push. And this is a huge consolidation as well. And this used to run like crazy Nvidia. Just straight parabolic, and I'd love for it to go make that run again. But it held 460 very, very well. And now it's pushing above 555. It's going to come up on some strong resistance on the weekly here at 587, 590. And if 590 can hold, it's going to take a trip to 600 all-time highs, and then it's ready to go to 700. With the way this thing moves, it'll hit 700 pretty fast, and I'm sure it'll be 1,000 in the coming 1 or 2 years. And totally justified as well, as long as they continue doing what they're doing. Short term, looks like it continued to break out above 580 with a target of 587, which we could see a strong pullback at 587. But don't ignore this gap here, 473 to 465. 80% of the time gaps do fill. Do I think we'll get back down to 475? Short term, no. I think we'll get a minor pullback, maybe a retest 535, 540. But to get sub 500, I don't think that comes anytime soon. Facebook broke out as well. These breakouts on tech are no joke. With that NASDAQ pullback, it really wound everything up to just take off. Is this bearish for the market? Not at all. This pullback's going to come, and these stocks are going to continue to rally. I'm sure for a couple more weeks. Before then, we decide what happens then. But everyone's screaming like we're going to get a pullback, whatever. With tech just breaking out, just recently breaking out, and just recently making all-time highs. That's not bearish. It's minor pullback will come, of course, and then I'm sure we'll continue a lot higher. But for Facebook, I'd love a 3, as long as we can hold above 310, 305, 305 being the previous breakout level. This thing looks ready for 350 and ready to go. At all-time highs, it's tough. You don't have any profit targets. You don't have any previous levels of resistance. You don't have any previous levels where sellers could potentially be at. It's just a price action game. You got to be watching price. You got to see what's going on with that. Other than that, you have no way to predict. I mean, maybe Fibonacci extensions, but even that, are not always accurate. So it's just got to be a price action game on the short-term time frames, 5-15 minutes. KO. KO is a tough stock to day trade if you do day trade it, because it doesn't move much. It's still only now recovering from its corona lows. Still hasn't fully recovered, as most stocks have, but looks actually ready to break out. If you were to play a breakout, it's a great small account builder. It's just this isn't something you're buying weeklies on. You're going to buy monthly contracts on this because it just moves so slow. And long term, this is the stock you want, and great dividend and all that. Great company. It'll be around for forever. But this looks ready to break out. Cup and handle on the daily. If we can hold above 54, I'd have a target at this top of the cup at 55. And again, $1 targets, tough stock to move, and then a potential gap fill at 56. But this is something that you got to just buy and hold. No matter what it is, options, shares, it's not going to move much. But besides not moving much, it's a great company. Sun W. Oh, actually looks ready to continue to break down. I'm pretty sure this is a solar company. Yeah, solar company. Bear flag, falling and can continue to fall. Probably touch $10. Yep, and as we've seen, yeah, $10 barely even held. This was the 10-ish zone. And as long as 1160 can hold below, this thing can see 10, then 8, and then I'm sure it'll get to this 5 zone. It's just something generally to stay away from, unless you're going to go short. doesn't look promising to the upside. I would stay away from SunW. ARK F. Oh yeah, so you take the ARKs, all these crazy ARKs, all these Cathy funds, basically look like the Tesla chart because it's basically Tesla. Yes, because it's basically Tesla. Because they're so heavily invested in Tesla and continue to buy the Tesla dip and continue to make these crazy price valuations on it, and Bitcoin is more profitable than their cars. I mean, still crazy profits from Bitcoin, but other than that, it's like, how do you have a $3,000 multi-trillion-dollar valuation on a company that barely even has car sales? I do think that it eventually will get 3,000, but at the rate that they're talking, I don't really know. Who knows? Gap to 143, 140, and this again, basically same setup as Tesla, as I've said, because what's going to move this is its biggest holding, which is Tesla. Seems like it can't hold above 125. If it can hold above 125, that'll be the test that it needs for 140, 143, and then 150 ultimately. If Tesla touches 1,000, I'm sure ARK will be close to 200, but just stay away from the ARKs. If you do actually want to play Tesla, ARK is the cheaper option, because Tesla premiums are so expensive. ARK will provide you with that cheaper play because they basically move identical. If you guys did not know that. All right, any other tickers? I don't know, quickly explain some volume stuff on SPY, and then if not, I'm going to head out of here. We can continue doing this, so I mean, I could do this in the middle of the week if you guys like it, but I'm going to run through some SPY volume stuff quickly. Okay. So, when you're looking at the market, and it's at all-time highs, and you look at the volume, and volume is the thing that pushes price. But what also pushes price are buyers and sellers, and if there's no strong sellers, there's no reason for price to drop. Buyers will continue to easily buy this with no volume, no problems. Volume is generally developed because it's a battle between buyers and sellers, and some big player has to come in and take out a level, a price that sellers won't give up. And at all-time highs, there's no previous levels where sellers are sitting at, so it can easily float on up with no problems until one day a big seller will come in, taking profits, just trying to short it, whatever the reason is. And it will cause this drop. But for now, people are like, "Oh, there's no volume, there's nothing." It's like, and it is concerning because there's no base of people, a base of positions, nothing, no base at all, which is the concerning part of the volume. But from a technical standpoint, it doesn't need volume to push up if there's no sellers. People can just keep buying and buying and buying with no problems until eventually, as I said, there will be someone who comes in with a large sell order, probably gap down that market, and take it ready to go. But as we've been grinding up on the 4 hour, you take a look at the 4 hour, it's been all technical. As we've gotten this multi-month breakout, it's developing strong support. At 406 has been this zone that it's been developing, and if 406 breaks below, I'm sure we'll get that 400 test, but it's not something that I see dropping, that fast because of this developing support here at 406. Now 406 will be that huge level. We could see a bounce play off of it, or we break below 406, 405, 400 up next, and that'll be that final gap fill. And if we could push and hold 400, as long as we get some consolidation there, I'd like to buy that dip and get ready to go higher, and slowly grind our way up. And you take a look at the VIX as well. The VIX hasn't been this low in forever, and this is what's probably causing these crazy price movements. No one is scared. Nobody No one has a problem with the market at this high, and the VIX will show you that based off of, it's a fear indicator, it's a volatility indicator, your premiums are cheap, everything's, all nice and well right now, and volume is still increasing. Yeah, the VIX was lower than it was before Corona, and it's pushing, and we saw this 15 was that psychological level, and besides not being psychological level, 15 is the level to break for it to be considered a bull market from a volatility perspective. And now it's below 15, and 10 is extremely, everyone's comfortable. And if we start pushing above 15, you're going to start getting worried on the market, and then obviously we can go much higher. But right now, volatility is not a problem, and this thing can easily go higher with no issues until something happens, some news drops or whatever it is. All right, so I'm going to do NRG, NIO, and TLRY. Definitely looking at TLRY. Probably going to take a lotto for 420. Pretty sure it ran last year at 420. But all those weed stocks, I think it'd be fun to take a lotto on just for 420. Buy it on 419, swing it, see if anything happens. NRG. Oh, this is a nice play here. Gap as well. Volume picking up. When will SPACs pop back? See, it's all seasonal, and the month of February was great. Everything was running. SPACs, small mid caps. That was the great month. And seasonally, right now, it's good for big name stocks, big tech stocks, and you just got to be able to catch those trends. Right now, SPACs aren't really the move. Fubo may start to pick that small mid cap rally back up if it does hold. But right now, it's all eyes on tech. No one really cares about small to mid caps, but they could totally pick back up. It just doesn't seem like that's what's going to be happening right now, and that's all part of about the seasonality of stocks. And going in another part of seasonality, May is a huge selling month. Selling May, go away. Yeah, so May is the selling month, April the push, and then May is generally seasonally the selling month. But we'll see what happens when we get there. NRG, gap fill to 42. As long as it could hold above 38, no problems with that. It's struggling here, but it seems the volume increasing. Can totally push 42 with no issues. I love this play. 1-2 months out. Should be easy. I'm going to take a look at the weed sector, and then probably going to wrap this up on this for an hour. I'll do this midweek if you guys like it. MJ is the weed ETF, so I'll just take a look at that. I mean, it is kind of, it's consolidating, and it could totally pop. I'd only play this above. Either way, I'm going to take a lotto on 419 for a 420 potential run. It could totally run above 23.26. But below 21.50 can totally push 19 or 20. But other than that, we watch this week and going into next week, because I mean, besides the 420 jokes, like there could totally be news or something for the holiday. But that's about it. I'm gonna end this. This will be posted on the YouTube to rewatch, and then I'll do this again Wednesday, and we're going to have some live trading coming Monday, so definitely be in that. I'll be in there talking stocks, talking plays, day trades,